Soo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo. Soo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo. Soo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo. Soo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo.
I am 5 years old, and I don't fit in anywhere. I am a crazy, insane, rambunctious, black Jewish man. And in the black Jewish world, I am like a shining, shining, bright Star of David. You can see me very clearly amongst other black Jews. There are 3 of us in the world. But this isn't about that. This is about me finding my place in the world. And I am 5 years old. And my parents have paid for all of us to go see a show. And we are in the nosebleed section of the theater. And there I am, 5 years old. And people, I'm a beatboxer. If you don't know what that is, that's fine. But most people associate beatboxing with hip hop. And I, in the 80s, was 5. So I had parents who, like most good parents, said I could not listen to hip hop music. And I didn't listen to hip hop until I was much older. So I loved jazz and bebop and R&B and funk and soul. But my favorite artist of all time was Bobby McFerrin. So I am 5. And here comes this man on stage. Black person in the dead of night. And I am mesmerized by this animated man with no shirt on who dances around the stage for hours. And he says, "Who wants to join me on stage?" And I pop up from the nosebleed section of this theater. And my dad says, "Let's go." And we rush down the hallway and then around some weird wall and then down some more stairs and down a crazy hallway and into a corner where there's no one standing and then around the room. And by the time we get to the stage, everyone's already on stage and we can't get on stage with him. We walk back to our seats, and I hate my dad now because he bought these seats. But on the way home, I am on fire. And I'm and my dad's driving and no one says shut up. So I do this forever. I have no siblings. This is all I got. And I don't even know what I'm doing yet. I have no idea that this is even really considered music. I don't read music. My piano teacher, when I'm 9, she quits on me because we show up to the house late. I play saxophone in junior high school, and I'm not really good at it, but I take a photograph with my sax because it's super sexy. And eventually, hip-hop does make its way into my life. But I'm inspired by McFerrin. So I like hip-hop that's not derogatory and not violent. I like hip-hop that's soulful and tells a story. I like people like Run DMC and Slick Rick. I like storytellers in my hip-hop. And I'm not allowed to bring music home that calls people derogatory names. So I still stand out. I go to hip-hop parties, and when everyone says, "What's my favorite word?" I sit down, and I make silent protests at clubs. So I'm not really getting the hot club girls to dance with me. So this is how my life tends to go. And I end up on stage with other beatboxers, and I get this amazing chance to perform with Bobby McFerrin's son, Tyler McFerrin. And he's a beatboxer. And he gets on the microphone, and I'm after him. And for those of you that don't know who Bobby McFerrin is, his songs in the 80s that he's known for is Don't Worry, Be Happy. The album is called Simple Pleasures, or also Spontaneous Inventions, where he does all the music himself. Everything you hear is his vocals. It's quite impressive. So this man, who has amazing and perfect pitch, can sing in every octave, had children who beatbox. And so this gentleman, Tyler McFerrin, is gonna go on before me and perform. And I realized that he's at an unfair advantage that I didn't. I did not grow up with Bobby McFerrin, so Tyler kills it, and then I follow. No one remembers what I do, but that's fine. Years later, I'm 30, and I don't really know how impactful this man has been in my life. I don't really get it. I don't really quite understand that Bobby McFerrin has given me a space in the world where I get to kind of be myself. That this man who walked on stage with no shirt on and smacked his chest for entertainment has given me permission to be this zany, quirky guy in the world. I don't understand that until I'm 30. And my dad and I are in the nosebleed sections again at a concert for Bobby McFerrin. And I haven't seen him live since I was 5. And I'm sitting there with my ex-girlfriend, ex now, and she's a horrible, horrible human being, and she doesn't quite understand why this man is magical to me. And I sit there watching him with tears in my eyes as he basically reenacts the entire Wizard of Oz in like 5 seconds. He's remarkable. He does voices, he conducts, he sings songs, he plays with jazz musicians, Yo-Yo Ma, Chick Corea. He's phenomenal. And his show ends, and at some point he even asks the audience to come downstairs, and I don't even try. I'm not gonna make it. I'm 30, I'm old. But my dad and I enjoy the concert, and my ex-girlfriend kind of applauds out of support for me, I guess. And it ends, and my dad says, "Let's go." We get up, we walk down the aisle, downstairs, around some weird wall, and we keep walking. My dad's a pretty by-the-book person, but we're walking into a mysterious area of the concert, and all of a sudden, I can hear my heartbeat, and it's really, really loud in my head. And I think I know what my dad is doing. I think his plan is for us to walk backstage and meet this man. Now, I've seen little girls see Justin Bieber in person, and I've watched what happens to them, and I never understood it, and I've always thought they were crazy. But I begin to hear louder noises in my head. And we're getting closer. And I'm never really big on celebrities. I don't really care about, I'm from LA, I've seen celebrities. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm gonna be fine. And then he comes out, and I'm sweating. And he says, hello. And he walks up to shake my hand. And I don't even know how my dad has gotten me backstage, but there he is, my idol. This man that's given me permission to do music my way. The man that gave me my voice. I'm standing there with my dad, and he's so proud that he made this moment. For him, this is redemption in some weird way. This is his apology for the nosebleed seats when I was 5. And here's my crummy ex-girlfriend who doesn't understand how amazing this moment is. And I go to speak to tell this man that he's given me so much and thank you. And I instead go, sweating and tears are coming out of my face. And I look at my ex-girlfriend in hopes that she'll understand that this is a moment where she now gets to speak up for me, her love. And she says, he likes your work. And I go, and all I can think of is this grown-up must think I'm insane. He's never gonna know that he touched me. He's never gonna understand that I've literally listened to his music for years, that I've dedicated his albums to sweethearts. He's never gonna get this. And I somehow managed to put myself together, and I say, I know your son, which sounds even creepier. Like maybe I got him locked up in my car somewhere, and I need money. But he says, oh, how do you know, my son? And I say, I make noises with my mouth like you. And he says, oh, you're a vocal percussionist. I say, yeah. And I stop crying, and he says, well, let me hear something. And I'm able to, in that moment, create sounds that somehow sound like music. Most of them are just me whimpering through. But he likes it, and he says, well, how about I bring you up for a show? And I said, oh, yeah. And he said, well, give me your email address. And I said, and he tears a little piece of paper from a program. And I write it down like I got Parkinson's. So I know he's never going to email me. But it was weird because I met my hero. I met someone whose desire to express is so grand that he's changed people's lives, that he sells out theaters. And I didn't know how much he meant to me. I didn't know what music meant to me until that moment. I had just kind of been existing and playing and revealing and enjoying myself. But it wasn't until that very second where I was sobbing in front of this amazing musician that I was able to fully give thanks and feel gratitude for who he was and what music was in my life. That's my story. Thank you. So we're gonna get back in the swing of things. That was fun. If you're curious as to why I have crutches, let me tell you why I have crutches. Because I thought, you know, it's cool to host a storytelling show, but it's even cooler to host them in crutches. So that's why. Anyway, so no, the truth is not even it's not a great story. I was washing my face in San Francisco. She's laughing already, and I appreciate that. And I went to bend down to wash my face, a thing that I do all the time. And then I couldn't get up, and that's what happened. That's what happened. That's it. That's my story. Let me tell you, it is hard to do everything, every single thing. If you haven't stopped in your life to give thanks for putting clothes on, do that when you get home. just take a moment and go, I get to do this. I get to reach across from me and turn the radio on in my car. It's beautiful. It took me 3 hours to put my clothes on to come here. Not because I didn't know what I was gonna wear, because I just stared at my clothes on the bed and I Superman for a while, and I was like, how? And at one point I said, clothes, get on me, and that didn't work. And then I thought about asking my little cousin to help me, and I was like, no, that's weird. Come in here and come dress me. I didn't want to do that. She's 11. That would traumatize her for life. So I essentially just kind of rolled around on my bed until they ended up on me. So this is what happened. All right. A lot of pain, a lot of painkillers. So our next storyteller, again, we're in for a treat. We're in for treats all night. Is the author of more than 24 plays produced in New York, London, LA, and elsewhere. He has directed, produced, or developed more than 150 new plays as the founding artistic director of Moving Arts Theater Company, and he leads a popular playwriting workshop. He is also CEO of the creative marketing firm Counterintuity. But this person also has something that is not so well known about him. Please put your hands together and give it up for Lee.